DINKY-DOO. It's just me, Scottie McCLUE, the world's top broadcaster and the first lord of the internet. Hashtag FLOTI. So there you are. Welcome, 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 I say, to tonight's internet phone-in. Now, how amazing is this? DINKY-DOO. Lots and lots to talk about and so little time to do it in. We've only got 1 hour of superb, scintillating information, education, and entertainment for not just one nation, but all nations. And of course, believe it or not, tonight is the big one. It's our 100th phone-in show. How about that? DINKY-DOO, I say. Yes, indeed. Good evening, everyone. And DINKY-DOO, I've just said, there's Jimmy, DINKY-DOO, Scottie, DINKY-DOO, Jimmy. Lovely to have you with us. DINKY-DOO, so Scottie McClue, how do you do? First time, Shepherd. Lovely to have you with us. Hi, Scottie, says Susan. Hello, Susan. Lovely to have you with us. And a big DINKY-DOO tonight. This is just absolutely wonderful to have so many people on. Should we take any notice of the government, says Angela? Well, in many ways, you have to take notice of the government because they are the government. But they have certainly really weakened their case by splitting themselves away from the people, I have to say. So there you are. I find that very, very strange indeed. Now then, let's just see what's happening here. There we are. Fantastic. Anybody wants to come on the telephones, then do so. You're very welcome. Who's this? You're live on Scottie's phone-in. Good evening.
Hello, Scottie. DINKY-DOO. It's me, myself, and I.
Me, myself, and I. Numpty Heat. Welcome, welcome. Now, Numpty Heat, in your early days, you were a doubting Thomas, and then you realised which way the wind was blowing, and now we've reached 100 phone-in shows.
Absolutely marvellous.
And a lot of that's due to your good self and your kind support.
Oh, no, you had a wee bit to play in it too, Scottie.
No, just a wee bit, but I mean, it's the likes of your good self. So I thank you, I'll tell you that, Numpty Head, but I don't want to spoil you too much, because I don't want you to be Numpty Big Head.
Oh, Ken is big enough, Scottie.
Ken. Now, there's somebody called Depressed saying, what are your pronouns? You never, ever, ever, ever ask anybody their pronouns. Never, ever, ever. We are all inclusive on here. Nobody has to justify themselves.
It's a piece of nonsense.
There we are. Now, who's this? Smelly Nappy says, never put me down the Swanee or I won't change your diapers or give you a sponge bath. Shall we send Smelly Nappy down the Swanee?
Well, that's you tell, Scottie.
What do you think? Doing the Swanee?
Absolutely.
I think so. Gone.
There you are.
Fantastic. DINKY-DOO, I say. Martin says, can he ring? Of course you can, Martin.
Aye, but Scottie, am I going to get a win then?
Ken, I thought you'd got one in.
No, listen, let me tell you, I took the dump to the links today, right?
Ken.
Leaf links.
Ken.
And I come across on one of the park benches, somebody had left a container with a lid on it with a notice on the top. So I read the notice and it says, please take what you need, then put the lid back. And I had a look inside and it was like food bank stuff, you know. So somebody's been kind enough to leave out a container, covered the stuff and left it out for people who are maybe in need. And I thought that's really good of them. Well, it's kind of what I went and done, Scottie, because with me moving house, and the notice did say, take what you need. So I took the container, and I put it back on, and I left all the food.
What are you like?
Well, it says, take what you need. Well, I'm moving house, Scottie.
Ken,
container.
I think you're working me from the back.
I'm telling the truth.
Tell you. Your nose will grow.
Are we going to be blethering nonsense for the next half hour, or are you going to cut me off?
We're going to be blethering nonsense for the next half hour, and I'm going to be cutting you off.
All right, then. Bye.
A deal's a deal. There we are. Fantastic stuff. That's our Numpty Heat, and off he jolly well goes, I say. Hi, Scottie, says Pablo. Happy 100th show, Scottie, says the wonderful Susan. There we are. Hello, Scottie. We've just joined from the Isle of Barra, Agus. Absolutely lovely to have you with us, Agus. You're live at Scottie's phone-in. Who's that?
Hello, Scottie.
James, are our callers quiet tonight, guys, or can we hear every one of them?
I think it's good when I was watching that one there.
Is it sounding all right? Could you hear Numpty Head?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. Excellent, James. Good. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you, Scottie?
Excellent. Kamara hakama.
Akamata, please.
Excellent stuff. Wonderful. And what's happening, Mova?
Nothing much. Just quiet night in.
Yep, you're just working away.
Yeah,
And are the Barra boys enjoying the phone in?
yeah.
It's great stuff. How's your weather tonight, James?
Just a wee bit of wind.
A wee bit of the old windy.
Yeah.
Yep, but apart from that, everything's fine. That is excellent stuff. Well, we send love and blessings to all of you in Barra.
Okay, thank you.
And someday the Twin Otter will land and we'll all get off.
Looking forward to it.
Ah, bless you. DINKY-DOO.
Thank you, man.
Maha. There we are. That's our James up in Barra. Very nice. Do the same thing you did yesterday, Scottie, with the audio. We can't hear this man. Maybe he was just a wee bit quiet. But I shall do a bit of checking. Let me get onto this, guys, because we're not having any nonsense on here. You need to be able to hear everybody, I say. And we want full volume. There we go. So let's just see what's happening here. Right, I've got this one, and I'm going to try this one. Wait till we see what's going on. Is that better, I say to you? And what we got here, is that better, guys? There we go. We'll see what that brings. Now, who's ringing? Hello, can you hear us? Hello there. Hello.
Hello, Scottie, man. It's Martin. How are you?
Hello, Martin. How are you? Is that clearer, guys? Is that loud and clear?
Yes, you're very clear. Who the hell was that boy coming on saying smelly baby nappy? I should really have a talk with that.
Well, we got rid of him. He's away down the Swanee.
I think he's a maniac.
He's what you'd call a half-witted idiot.
I know.
He's away down the Swanee. In fact, half a wit, I think, is maybe a wee bit generous.
See that thing last night with Boris Johnson last night?
Yes.
The party. I really didn't like that at all. That was totally buying a border.
Well, we don't know that there has been a party, but I think the evidence points to the fact there may have been.
Because I have spoken to a lot of people about it today, and half of my friends told me it did happen.
It did happen, right? They've had an idea.
Yes, so they've done it. So they've done it under the lockdown, and that's not appropriate.
No, that's absolutely not appropriate. And I mean, it's not the first time the Prime Minister's been caught napping with this sort of thing. And I think he would be far better just fessing up if he had the courage just to fess up, because that looks a lot better rather than just it all coming out in dribs and drabs.
Because no wonder he should be satisfied what he's done, and basically no offense to him, but his hairstyles are disgrace.
Here's Glenn saying, Scottie, can we stop talking about Boris Johnson? It's getting boring.
I know.
So let's stop it there for Glenn. We don't want Glenn getting bored.
Okay.
That's the stuff. Okay. Angela says, did they really have a party? So there we are. We shall have to see.
Okay.
According to Sharon on Facebook, he's defo had a party. And she'll know. What's that?
How's your day been today?
Outstanding day today. Every day is outstanding, Martin. It begins very early in the morning, about 5 o'clock, and it finishes usually around midnight to 1 o'clock. So I get about 4 or 5 hours sleep.
Yes.
But I'm not complaining. I mean, because it's the quality of the day, and then I have the privilege of talking to people like yourself at night. Yes, and that's pretty good, isn't it?
I've been watching Take the High Road this morning. It's about when they got a certificate in front of a caravan. It's like a wedding type, but they got a certificate. But I'm on episode 271 now, I think.
Oh, that's quite far up, isn't it? And have you watched the other 270?
Yes, I've been watching on and off, but I need to watch them again so I can give you what happens in that.
Right, and have you come across Morag and Effie both fancying Dougal?
Yes, I have. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Numpty Heat says, sound is loud and proud. Now leave the buttons alone. And wait a minute, there's Pablo pulling Glenn up and saying Glenn spoke about him last night. You must be so tired, Scottie. No, I'm not, Suzanne, because I'm very interested in what you guys have got to say. Bronchi says, why don't we get any female callers? Now, that's not fair, because we had wee Mrs. Woman, and we had the wonderful Dee Gourlay, and we've had your good lady on as well, shouting hello. So I don't know, but we need lots of more female callers. I think Scottie McClue in the past was maybe a bit too male orientated. Well, I think that men feel there's so much feminism about that there's nothing on the media for them. And it's all women presenting the media.
Hold on there, Scottie, mate. Do you, sorry, Bobby. See, regarding that, do you think there's a bit of jealousy in the actual show regarding to that? Like, do you think men are better than women? Or do you think men have more control than women? Or do you think men are more easy to abide?
You see, I don't actually see any difference at all. To me, people are just people. And I think that a lot of these barriers between men and women, when it comes to driving, women are built differently. And I notice when you indicate on the motorway to go out, very, very, very rarely does a woman give you the lights. And they tend to overtake on signals on the motorway. So you're signaling you're coming out, so they think that's a cue to shoot past you. You see? So I think there are differences between the way the male and the female think when it comes to operating machinery. But I'm sure that they could be trained. You see, from that point of view. But on the show, I tend to just see people as people. So if it's Martin, that's one call. If it's Dee, that's another call. If it's wee Mrs. Woman, that's another call. If it's Numpty Heat, and so on and so forth.
But are you going to still have two callers a night? Are you going to stick to one? What do you think in your mind?
Do you mean you can have two calls in an evening? We might change it to one now because we are very busy and I want to get everyone on. You see? Colalio says some women can't read the situations on the road. It's frightening how they just go forward regardless.
Yes. I know.
Yes, there's a Sultan saying, I am immortal, I never die. Lucky Sultan. And there's greetings from Tobago. Hello, Levy.
How are you, Scottie?
Hello, how are you?
I'm just full of cold.
You've got the cold. Oh, well, don't come too close to your internet.
That's funny. That's good. Oh, yes. But tomorrow I'm getting a delivery tomorrow. I'm getting a new sofa. I'm getting a sofa, a new fridge, a coffee table, a microwave, a washing machine, and a fridge.
Oh, you're doing very well, Martin. That's you set up.
My new flat's looking great. I've been here for 5 months.
Yes.
And it's less than 16 days to Christmas.
Wow.
And basically as well, we went up to my village up in Mauchline in a car crash. A car tilted upside down.
Oh, no.
There were 6 police cars, aye.
Oh, no.
The car went upside down by the wheels upside down.
Oh, no.
But it's quite serious.
That's a bit frightening, that, Martin, yes. Well, anyway, can I tell you this? There's greetings from Scapa Flow in Texas on the TikTok.
Nice.
Right, Glenn says 1 call a night from every day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So there you are. Martin has won the generation game and the cuddly toy.
Why did Glenn say that?
Because the generation game, do you remember it with Bruce Forsyth?
Yes, I remember.
And if you remembered what you got to take it home.
Yeah,
So you've got your fridge, freezer, and your sofa and your cuddly toy.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
There you are now. What about that?
Lovely, aye.
Lovely, lovely.
Hiya to Glenn, Kareem, Suzanne, Susan, she's on, and Jenny, Suzanne, who else?
That's fantastic.
Dad, Martin win the lottery.
Fantastic. Did Martin win the lottery? Right, I'm going to dash. You take great care.
Can I have a quick weather update before you go, please?
A weather check.
Yeah.
A little bit cold tonight. However, there's milder weather on the way, so who knows? We perhaps might be able to get out for a little walk or two, get a little bit of exercise there. But for tonight, I think you should stay in and watch Scottie McCLUE on the internet phone in. That's your weather.
Thank you, Scottie.
Thank you, Lala. Dinky-Doo. There we are. That's our Martin. Off he jolly well goes, I say. Now, what a fine fellow. Hiya, Martin, says Glenn. Right, from now on, one call a night, okay? That's what we'll do soon and get some more people on. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that? Hey, Glenn, how are you?
I'm good. I weren't going to phone up tonight, but I thought I'd go on.
No, go on. Enjoy yourself. Fill your boots, la. But we're only doing one call a night from now on.
I agree 100%, yeah.
And that's it.
I think we should get more callers, new callers.
Yeah, get new callers, get some new blood in here, get everybody listening. Because tonight, Glenn, this is the 100th show. And I think everybody watching right now should subscribe to Scottie McClue's YouTube channel.
I think you could be the next Piers Morgan, Scottie.
This is big. This is very big. We will burst onto the world stage very soon.
Bigger than Piers Morgan in life.
Yes, and at the weekend, I want you to go on the internet to Johnstone Sound.
I will do, Scottie.
Yeah, you'll see it all on my social media. And between 10 and midday, I'm on Ron Seath's The Nostalgia Show.
I will watching listening to the one caller earlier from YouTube. You know, the guy who you talk about all the time. What's his name now?
Alex Belfield.
Yeah, that's the one.
He's some character, and he's telling it like it is.
Yeah, they were a bit confrontational when you phoned him up, weren't it, last time?
Oh, yeah, there was definitely a locking of the horns.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, have you spoke to him since?
Well, no, but I was thinking, and I couldn't get through to him, but I was thinking of pulling him up for swearing.
Yeah, he was a bit sharp-toothed, weren't they?
Yeah, a little bit sharp on the tongue there. Hey, Glenn, wait till I tell you this. You'll love this. I went into my work one day, and there's this guy on the phone, and he was taking a real lot of shecht off some other guy's missus, right?
Yeah.
And she all the rest of it, and he's standing there, and he took it, then he put the phone down after she'd gone absolutely through him, and I loved this. This is what I call understatement. He goes, "That woman's got a sharp tongue."
I think women are open mouth that time, Scottie.
Well, Billy Connolly says that men can keep a secret, they can hold a secret, but women can hold a fart.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? And I think that's better because most men I know can't hold a fart.
Are you going to keep your own water then, Scottie?
Well, I could keep, if you said to me, here's how I roll. And I say this to everybody. I say, if you say to me, I'm going to tell you something, Scottie, but I don't ever want to hear it back. I said, you'll never hear it back. I said, but if you tell me you want it, put about, I'll have it round world by lunchtime.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. I like to, you lose a lot of friends that way, Scottie, sometimes, don't you? You know, like if you're a bit open-mouthed.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I mean, you see people all the time, don't they? I told you not to say out.
And it's got around.
And you feel like saying to them, well, I told you. Why did you tell me then?
I think social media is the biggest.
Oh, it's bad. It's got a dangerous side to social media.
Definitely.
They need to explain to young people how dangerous it can be. Never put picture of your mates up. Don't film your mates. You know, all that.
Or something like that.
Yeah, no, don't be doing anything like that.
It can make or break a relationship.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, social media can be a bit dangerous. So there you go. The man who knows no limits, says John, corporeal or otherwise, Mr. McClue. How do you do? Suzanne says she loves Alex.
Never go in when you've had a few drinks, Scottie, innit?
No, well, that's it. You know, get the phone off.
Where's the old apron, Scottie?
Yeah, sniff of the barmaid's apron, love. And the Ren of Days. Yeah.
I never typed that in the morning, did I? You know what I mean?
I never said that.
And then you go in onto edit button to delete everything.
Well, you try to, you know, and then you find it's out of control. Well, my mother used to say to me, it's not the person that says something, it's the person that repeats it.
I think exactly. I think it's getting a lot worse now, isn't it?
Yep. Is everybody subscribed to the YouTube channel?
Yes, Scottie, yeah.
Yeah, you have, I know, but, you know.
You've got to tell them all that.
You've got to tell them. You've got to get it out there, Glenn.
You know, on Facebook, though, sometimes, you know, I got fooled into a joke ages back, you know, change your name just by default and editing your name.
Yeah.
You can't change your name back. You're stuck with that name for 6 months. So I changed it to some other name.
Yes.
And I was called Malcolm for 6 months, Scottie, on Facebook.
Oh, my goodness me.
And you can't change it back.
Well, I knew a guy whose name was Willie Fart.
Yeah.
Right? And he changed it by deed poll, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now he's Jimmy Fart.
Brilliant stuff.
My dear man, I'm going to have to dash. They're going bananas.
Nice one. I hope you have a good evening.
I hope you do, and I'll love you lots.
Love you, Scottie.
Dinky-Doo, la. There we are. That's our Glenn. He said, no mention of Boris Johnson, please. It's getting boring. Thank you, Susan. You're a wee sweetheart, says Suzanne. Sending Suzanne big hugs. Hope you feel better soon. Suzanne loves Alex Belfield. She's a big fan. Greetings from Scapper Flo. Well, he does tell it like it is, doesn't he? He doesn't spare the horses, I say. So there we go. Wonderful stuff. Now, what do you agree with me that everybody gets one call a night, Max? That's it. To the telephones as soon as you possibly can. If you've been ringing and ringing and ringing and redialing and redialing and redialing. And we want to get more women on because we want to hear what you're thinking about life. But we need everybody subscribing to Scottie McClue's YouTube channel. And we need everybody following on TikTok at Scottie McClue. There we are. Also, I went live on Twitter last night, so you can see that at Scottie McClue. Beachy, what have you done? Beachy has just sent me 20 beautiful TikToks as a gift on the TikTok channel at Scottie McClue. Go and have a look if you're a TikToker. How's you, Glenn, says Martin. There we are. Fantastic. Phone in, Susan. Yeah, Susan, come on, phone in. And let's hear from you. We need to have more and more ladies on. Remember me from a few live streams back, Sultana. Of course I do. There we are. You're immortal, you see. I've got you on TikTok and YouTube. I prefer the TikTok streams, says Kirby the Annihilator. Who's this? You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, Scottie. Pablo, mate. You okay?
Pablo, mate. Are you all right, Lala?
Yeah, a lot better now, mate. My stomach's settled a lot better.
Oh, that's brilliant. And talking about settling, is the volume sounding better?
A lot better, Scottie. You might want to do whatever you did as soon as you start your streams up.
Yeah, I think that might be it. It's rather strange. Yeah, Scottie McClue for Prime Minister, says George.
That's a good one, Scottie. When are you running for politics?
Do you think I should?
What would you run for, Scottie? Would you run
well, can I tell you a true story? A few years back, it must be, I don't know, 25 years now, probably. There was a by-election in Glasgow.
Yeah.
and it was a very heavily populated area, part of the city. And I was talking to a guy on the phone, and he said, you should look at running for that. You see?
Yeah.
And I said, no. I said they wouldn't want me. He said, well, I think you'd be very good. Would you have a think about it? I said, I might do. Anyway, he had a lot of contacts with the newspapers. And one of the top newspapers phoned 5 minutes later and said, Scottie, we believe you might be standing as an MP. I said, well, I hadn't thought about it. They said, well, if you do, would you let us know? We want the exclusive. And they said, but can you do us a favor? I said, yeah. If you're standing, can you make sure you're serious about it? Yeah. And I said, well, of course, but why did you say that? They said, because I think there's a very good chance you'll get in.
Yeah.
So I could have been me running up and down the high rise, knocking all the doors. Excuse me, missus, do you want to vote Scottie McCLUE? And
why did you do it, Scottie? Was it not something you were interested in?
I didn't really have the confidence to think I'd be good enough because the standard of MPs was very high. But I do look at one or two now and I think, tut, tut, tuttity, tut. The other thing is, I had a friend who knows Parliament very well who said, no, don't you end up in that place.
Yeah. Well, we had a funny one over there a few years ago. You might have known it, Scottie, when an ex-gangster wanted to run for mayor in Salford. Did you hear about that?
No, but don't go into that because I can't talk about that.
Right, well...
Do you see what I mean? But wait till I tell you this, so we'll have to change the subject. What do you think of this? I think this is cheeky Pablo, Blackie the Bull, volume is rubbish, stop shouting, we can't hear the callers.
No. You're always going to be slightly louder than the caller.
Well, yeah, but I think that's a bit cheeky, don't you?
Yeah, but I didn't hear it all. Start again with the sentence, Scottie. What did he say?
What did he say? He says, volume is rubbish, stop shouting, can't hear the callers.
No, that's rude, that's Scottie.
Now, I'm not shouting.
No.
You know.
I come across you shouting because the callers are a bit lower, but you're the presenter, you want to be a bit louder anyway.
Yeah, but you're sounding really loud and clear tonight, Pablo. I'm very pleased with the sound.
Yeah, well, when I hear back, I'll let you know about that. But anyway, Scottie, my topic was, tonight, if I remember, and I don't know if we have brought this up when you was on Nation Radio back in the day.
Yeah.
But you always go on and say, is this the next best thing that you would do? Well, you wouldn't know.
Say that again, Pablo.
Right, like you say, who wouldn't want to watch someone like Scottie McCLUE live and have a talk show, right?
Yeah.
What I think's happened over the years, Scottie, is it's been systematically done on purpose, right? Because when you look at reality TV and where reality TV has gone, take, for example, Big Brother. When they started Big Brother, they had Joe Bloggs, member of the public, and it went on for a few years and people were interested in the lives of Joe Public.
Yeah.
And then it switched to celebrity.
Yeah.
So now you had celebrity Big Brother. Now people were more interested in celebrities' lives. Same with, I think there used to be a program called Shipwreck where you had people on the beach and they were dating, and now they changed it to Love Island that brought celebrities in. So I think now we've got a persona where we don't care what people have to say unless they're celebrities or it's coming out of celebrities.
I could not agree with you more. And you see, the problem is they're called celebrities, but it just could mean they've got a very good agent.
Exactly.
Or they've done some sort of minor television or what have you. I mean, the reason I became a very, very big celebrity, I suppose, because I was with ordinary people every night for 3 hours on major markets.
Yeah.
So we got to know each other very well. But the television companies run scared of that. Yeah. So they're not actually using a proper celebrity. Scottie McCLUE is a proper celebrity, but they'll never ever treat me as such because I'm not glamorous. I wear a tweed jacket and a flat cap and talk English.
Well, that's it. Do you think this is another reason they don't want. Do you think it's got something to do with freedom of speech, Scottie, as well?
Yes, they also want to tell you what to say. So they don't want somebody with a proper opinion. For instance, I think one of the reasons I'm not national on the BBC is because I have an opinion.
Well, that's it. That's why I think it is the way it is. That's why I think most talk radio shows is talking about sport, because we can call sportsmen, you know, till we're blue in the face.
Yeah.
They're rubbish. They're overpaid. They didn't do a good job today. We can even say they shouldn't be in the team. But if we criticise anything else or analyse anything else away from sports, it's just not.
Well, what you're really saying is the presenter's not in charge. And when I did my show, I was in charge.
Yeah, that's kind of the way.
I mean, the boss only stepped in if something, you know, had gone over the top or blew up in our faces. And that very, very, very rarely happens. So in other words, I was in charge of the whole lot.
But Scottie, you're sharp enough to know when a topic is borderline where you can't really talk on it, whether it's a court case or like
absolutely. And good people like yourself, they know that, they say, and they follow the direction. They go, that's okay, all right.
Yeah.
There's George. What about this? Isn't this beautiful, Pablo? They don't want anyone who they can't control, Scottie, says Charlie. Put the collar closer to the mic and turn down your voice, says Blackie. He's getting a bit cheeky, actually, because, wait till you hear this, George says there's nothing wrong with the sound, Scottie. Never mind him. Blackie, I think you need to sort out your own kit. Ours is perfect. Yeah. I think he's not looking to himself. He's thinking it's somebody else to blame when it's his own kit. I think Nancy had come on first and someone else come on. But after the first two callers, you did something and the audio was smashing. I could hear every word anyway. Just perfect. Well, we're hearing you loud and clear and it sounds great. Pablo, we'll catch up soon, la.
Okay, mate.
Lovely to hear you, and DINKY-DOO. Top man, absolute top man. There we are. That's our Pablo. Great call as well. You know, good stuff from Salford. I'm in Donegal, says George. Excellent, George. That's what we like. To the telephones. Doing the Swanee, Scottie. Shall we put Blackie the Bull doing the Swanee? Well, maybe put him in timeout. We'll have a look. We'll see. He might manage to redeem himself. He says he knows me. There we are. Not that that means anything, though. We don't know. It's because you understand real people's trials and tribulations. No airs or graces. It's like speaking to a friend we've all known for years. That's better now, says Blackie the Bull. Aha, he must have tweaked his own kit, if you'll pardon the expression. Right, sip of tea for McCLUE. Now, has everybody watching subscribed to the YouTube channel? When I say subscribe, you don't pay a bean ever. You just get on to Scottie McClue's YouTube channel. And if you want to put it into your Google, if you can't see it on the TikTok bio, then it's just Scottie McCLUE, the internet phone in. There we are. Get on to it. That's better now. We love this. Well, yes, we do understand ordinary people, because ordinary people are the ones that are paying for the politicians. Can you read this, Scottie? I can, Chris. Yes, indeed. I prefer TikTok than YouTube. It's much clearer. There we are. Fantastic. Some women can't hold their own water, Scottie. Well, they do. They like a goss, the women. All that stuff, isn't it? All the sevens. The YouTube stream's much fuzzier, it seems, but I love the man all the same. Kirby the Annihilator. I say DINKY-DOO to you. Everybody get subscribing, guys. It might just be the internet connection. We are talking at a very, very high peak time. There we are. Fantastic. Right. More calls, please. Let me clear the lines. And off we jolly well go. If you haven't been ringing, get ringing now. The number should be just there. 0141 628 9795. This is our 100th show. Show 100. That's pretty good, isn't it? Has everybody been sharing? DINKY-DOO. Go Donegal. We love Donegal. Absolutely, very, very important. Yes, indeed. It's the ordinary people. I better put the apostrophe in, or somebody will be complaining. Somebody will be writing in. That's it. It's the ordinary people that pick up the tab. There we are. Oh my goodness. Who's that? You're live on Scottie's phone in, is that?
DINKY-DOO, Scottie. It's Kareem. How are we?
Ah, Kareem, how lovely to hear from you. I was just as you phoned there, and I didn't want to miss your call. I'm typing.
No. Continue, Scottie. No problem.
Can you see it? That pick up, no, 2 seconds, Kareem, the tab. So all I'm saying is, it's the ordinary people that pick up the tab. You know, there's a lovely, lovely person who was saying that. Oh, yes, Suzanne says it's because you understand real people's trials and tribulations, no airs or graces. It's like speaking to a friend we've all known for years. Yeah, and that's not going to be popular with the television companies because you're bound to have somebody producing you that has never actually spoken to the people on air.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. But, Scottie, a favour, what I would like if everybody could subscribe to Scottie McCLUE who's listening just now. I think we will join in and remind everyone.
That's brilliant, Kareem. And Kareem, can you tell me, is the subscribe button nice and clear on the app on the phone?
Everything's fine, Scottie.
Right.
And they know what it is. They just push the button and away we go.
So just a wee bit of laziness. And can you also tell me, down at the bottom right of the videos, there should be a wee subscribe button showing up?
Yes, you get that now.
And does it work okay, I wonder?
Yep. Well, just people need to subscribe.
They just need to click on it. That's all we're asking. It's not the end of the world.
Correct. Yep. A wee push of the button.
A wee push of the button. And also, Kareem, just below the YouTube there, is there a share arrow?
Yes, you get that with the thumbs up and to share. And
right. Well, I wish everybody would thumbs up and share the YouTube right now with a wee note saying, "Are you watching Scottie McCLUE?" Get it on there. Whatever their Twitters, their Facebooks, their everything.
Yes, absolutely. Totally agree.
And their own YouTube, because lots of people have got a YouTube channel. Some just have a few subscribers, but it'd be great to get this up because by now, if I can get myself 250,000 people listening in a half hour on the radio, then it's a bit absurd that we're puddling about with 3,000 subscribers.
Yes.
You know? And it's the same on TikTok. Over 800,000 people have seen the lives. We've got 18,000 have followed.
Yeah.
Now, everybody should be following. There's a bit of laziness, I think.
Yes. Yeah. You just need to keep reminding that just for people to push the button and, as I say, away we go.
There we are. So there you are. So I've put, it's the ordinary people that pick up the tab.
Yes, absolutely. I know.
That's interesting, Kareem.
Well, other people have people to advertise this stuff. You know, like, you know, you don't have that, so
no, not yet, but we will do because I feel yesterday. Now, don't ask me about this, Kareem, but you'll understand what I mean. There was a huge shift in energy, and I just felt really, really good. And I just felt all's going to be well. The phone-in is working. I know the numbers are not what I'm used to, but they will be. And the reason I say that is because I know that human beings love a chat.
A chat, absolutely.
Yeah, and they just need to find it because let's be honest, the internet's a minefield of information, and it's only if you can get a text or a message or come across it that you'll know it's on. So I could actually sit here for the next 10 years and, you know, we just get small numbers, or somebody can go, "Are you watching this?" And they go, "I didn't know it was on."
Well, you've said that yourself, Scottie. People, if
no disrespect, I said, "Oh, I didn't know he was still alive."
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought he's dead. Said, well, no, apparently not. I was talking to him last night.
Live and kicking and well.
Alive and sitting. George says it's good to listen to a decent man talking sense and listening. Keep up the good work, Scottie. Listen to you and Alex and Andy, the Gabby Cabby. He's good too. Press subscribe and ring the bell, says Magnus. How many watching tonight, Scottie? Blackie the Bull, usually we get about 2,500 to 3,000 of an evening when you tot up the TikToks and you tot up the YouTubes and you tot up the Twitters. We came off the, because I felt it was a distraction. We were live on LinkedIn at the start and on Twitch TV. But I came off that because I thought, if I was looking for someone, I don't want to be spoiled for choice. So if I was Googling Scottie McCLUE, I'd actually like to go and see him at the main one, which is YouTube.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
As I said, our parents had the moon landing and we have Scottie.
Excellent. Scottie,
Yes.
we thought yesterday I had a please take class, as you do.
Yes.
And it was in RE. So I made my way up to the class, and I knew some of the kids because I teach them second year class. And the teacher put on a DVD, and she left, and I was just sitting there at the computer. And normally when a lot of teachers do that, I like to interact with the class. I stop the video every once in a while and I talk about it, expand on it, get them to think. And this video, I didn't hear about it, but it was about the Second World War, and it was the concentration camps in, was it Auschwitz?
Auschwitz, yes.
Auschwitz, sorry. And it was a survivor, and she had these two young girls, like teenagers, and giving them a tour of the place. And the stories was just...
Oh, it's heartrending. It's heartrending.
The big huts, the accommodation that they stayed in, there was about 35 of these massive huts, or 40, I think, if I got the figures right, and in each one housed up to 1,000 Jews, 1,000 people.
Heartbreaking.
A bed slept about between 8 and 10 people. And she says it was very common, I won't go into all details, but it's very common that at night that you could be sleeping beside someone and they pass away, die, and you had to throw them out and land on the floor in order to keep warm. You know, like animals when they sleep together.
Yes, because they'd have gone cold.
Yeah.
But Kareem, can I tell you something? Yeah. Conditions used to be so poor in this country that in the mining village close to where I stayed in Yorkshire, a little boy arrived at school.
Yes.
And the teacher said to him, "You're looking tired, Billy." And he said, "No, but I'll be all right tonight. I'll get to sleep tonight, miss, because we're burying me brother this afternoon."
Oh.
Now, this little boy, his dead brother, was put in the bed beside him. Another thing that used to happen in these little miners' cottages was when somebody died, they wrapped them up and stood them up in the room because there just wasn't the space. And I think that we forget. I mean, you're talking about some dreadful, horrific piece of history, but we forget that conditions the world over were dreadful.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I mean, sorry, I wasn't in any way taking away from the seriousness of what you were talking about, but it just brought to mind if that can happen in a little mining village.
Well, it's a valid point because it was moving on to my next point that when we were talking about this, I mean, and I went into detail with it with the kids. I'm saying now, 3/4 of the class were watching it. You had other kids who just had their iPad out, mucking about, or their phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no, now, yous are all on this. I said, can you imagine that when you finish school and you get put on a train and you are going to this camp, knowing that when you get off that train, you're not going to see your family ever again. you're going to be separated. You know, I was getting into their heads to try and get them to think how what these poor people had to go through.
Yes.
And you know, just to really try to get them to think and to reflect. But after that, which they were more shocked about, I said that these things you hear lessons learned from the past. We need to learn from our mistakes. And he said, well, yes, that's true. I says, well, is it? When you let's look at Chechnya. Just now, they still have concentration camps putting LGBTI people into them. And they were horrified that this was still going on. They said, if you look at places around the world, like in China or wherever it is, there are camps. These types of camps still go on.
And are they not talking now about Australia putting unvaxxed people in concentration camps?
Sorry, Scott, I didn't hear that.
Are they not talking about in Australia putting unvaxxed people in concentration camps?
There was talk that I don't know about that. I know that they have to isolate, and Germany were doing the same. So they're really pushing for people, no, you need to get vaccinated. And I can understand why, in terms of money, economy, and trying to get people who are more immune to this deadly coronavirus, which obviously we won't go into detail. But I really wanted to put the point across to them that, again, that for, you said earlier on, when you were talking about you see people as they are, so you see.
Oh, we've lost Kareem. There we are. I didn't touch a thing. Doom and gloom tonight. Give us a joke, Scottie. Right, Blackie the Bull. So there we are. Fantastic stuff. The world's a prison until you die. Not necessarily, Blackie the Bull, because your mind is always free. Australia are going the same way as China, says Pablo. Wow. There we go. Donald Trump 2024. Let's build the wall. My goodness me. Do you think in America, do you want Donald back? That's what we're asking. Very important. Give us a call. There we are. Kareem, we hope we can get Kareem back on. Don't know what happened there. Kareem, give it another go. See if we can get you back on. No, we're not all doom and gloom. We just had a tiny wee bit of seriousness there. We can discuss serious stuff. If you're live on TikTok, DINKY-DOO. Hello, you're live on Scottie. Who's that?
Hi, Scottie. I got cut off there.
Brilliant. Yeah, I didn't know what happened, Kareem. It was nothing I touched. I know that because I was hands-free.
Right. I've just set my battery. The battery's 47. I don't know what bit I got to because I went off.
You got to the bit that we were talking about. You wanted them to have the seriousness of what's going on, and you'd explain to them about Chechnya and about the LGBTQ. And after that, where did you go after that with it?
I think I continued that I really wanted them to think about that in terms of that. Well, I actually gave you an example there, Scottie, that over the years, there's been some people that have really been quite disrespectful and been quite cheeky to you, that don't really like you, that phone in. And that's been evident.
Yes.
However, if you were in Chechnya and someone made a rumour up about you, you'd be taken away to one of these camps.
Isn't that strange?
That's a problem, that there's people over there using that as well. When they're such and such, right, boom, they're lifted and tortured. You know, and it's
we need to have a stop to this sort of thing. I mean, we had great freedoms. I mean, I'm a walking example of great freedom of speech in the 1980s, 1990s and early 2000s. So I would say I've probably had 30 years of virtually total freedom of speech, with obviously proper manners and respect and reverence to the right people.
Oh, Scottie, you're cutting out again.
No, we're here.
No. Oh, okay, sorry.
There we are. Sounds like the Salem witch trials. That was just wild accusations. Yeah. Well, there's Mary says, hi, Scottie. Can you please say hi to my husband, Charlie? Thank you.
Hi, Charlie.
There we are.
Well,
Trump talked sense, says George.
Trump and they had the illegal immigrants when they were separating. Okay, they weren't being tortured, but children were separated from their family. You know, there's a lot of things that's still going on around in the world, And there's a lot of things that's swept under the carpet that we won't even know about.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we don't know half of what's going on. I can remember, I mean, the big country house in Scotland, it used to belong to the Duke of Hamilton. It was the one that Hess was heading for. Dungavel House, which is, as the crow flies, not very far over the moors from Newton Mearns to Ayr.
Yes.
And Hess was heading for Dungavel House. And Dungavel House became a holding centre for refugees.
Right.
And it was very controversial in Scotland on the news. We don't hear about it now. You know? But the concentration camps, I think, did the British not bring them in during the Boer War?
Well, I know there's still like a refugee camp to this very day in South Lanarkshire. I can't remember the name, I can't remember the town, but ironically...
it might be the old army camp just outside Lanark.
It probably would be. It's not fit for purpose. And the reason that I know about this was because it was on the news recently because the finance secretary, the MSP, is it Kate Forbes?
Yes.
She's questioned about it and slaughtered, and she just turned around, and so rightfully so, that's nothing to do with the Scottish Parliament.
Yeah.
It's completely to do with the Westminster, and it kind of made the Sky presenter look quite foolish. But seemingly the refugees are sent up here, and it's not fit for purpose at all.
She's very good, that lady. She's very able.
I think she's a leader in waiting.
Yes, I think you could well be right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Lovely to talk to you, Kareem.
Scottie, DINKY-DOO, thank you for
I
the
will
call.
catch up soon. DINKY-DOO la. It's weird to think he was only 31 miles from Glasgow, Rudolf Hess, Hitler's deputy. I think the Boers' wife and children were imprisoned to deter the Boer men from fighting on because, pardon me, were the Boers not the Boers? They were Dutch farmers in South Africa. Am I correct? Or am I correct? Thank you, Scottie, says Mary McDonald. Not at all, Mary. A great joy and a privilege so to do. To your telephones, guys. Hess. Yes, indeed. You're correct, says Cornelio. Absolutely. The Boers, the South African War. In the 1950s, there was a parade up University Avenue past Wellington Church of Boer War veterans. Amazing. My grandfather was in it with the Scottish horse. Yes, he saw a lot of action in his lifetime. The Boer War, the First World War, and the Second World War. I think he was involved in all of that. Hi, Scottie. Hope you're doing well. DINKY-DOO. Well, no, he couldn't have been. That one couldn't have been in the Boer War because he was born in 1890 and the Boer War was 1900. So he'd only have been 10. So it must have been some other thing he was involved in the South African War. There we are with the Scottish horse. I'll tell you. Hi, Scottie. Hope you're doing well. We are, James. Lovely to have you with us. And DINKY-DOO. Great to hear from you, I say. Would you believe I have 5,600 likes on TikTok? Churchill was a reporter in the Boer War. He was, Cornelio, because he got captured and he escaped. And there was it 25 pounds on his head? What uni did you go to and what did you study? I went to Glasgow University and I studied dramatic art. You can still look around Auschwitz. You can indeed, yes. Wow, loving the support. No problem, James. Fantastic. It's been a brilliant, brilliant show tonight. I tell you. We did it good back in the days, says Blackie the Bull. Thank you, Blackie the Bull. Bronchi says, I remember we housed the Cosvos in Salford when they had a war going on. Absolutely. I mean, this country has been very, very good with refugees. I know you'll get your right-wing angry people, but it has. To the telephones, guys, as quickly as you can. I shall set up the phones for you. If you've been ringing and ringing and ringing and redialing and redialing, give it another go. We'll see if we can get you on, okay? No problem at all. Callum, DINKY-DOO, did you ever do any acting? Yes, I did, David. I've been in a number of things. And pantomime, Of course. Wonderful. If you want to hear about things, go on to the YouTube channel, which you could be on now, in fact, and look up Scottie McCLUE talks to David Heyman, one of our finest actors, not just British actors, but world actors, David Heyman. And I had a great chat to David about acting. So have a listen to that. Now, what have we got here? Scottie, adventures for 2022 on the chase, ghost hunt, and going on a big UK cat sighting expedition. Amazing, Bronchi. Scottie, I'll call you soon. I think of you very regularly as I pass McCLUE Road, just off the Inshinnon Road in Renfrew. Is that where it is? Somebody sent me a picture of McCLUE Road. I visited Belsen camp in Germany back in 1984. Professor Numpty, can I tell you that a personal friend of mine when I was little, he saw Belsen, he was into Belsen just as it was liberated and described the whole thing to me. I think it was maybe helpful for him. Red Rose, the good old days. Yes, indeed, Blackie the Bull. I'm doing Ashton Lane Saturday night. Anyone else you recommend in Glasgow West End? Or you'll have a nice time up and down the Byres Road. But Ashton Lane is beautiful. Yes, indeed, fantastic. Do you have dogs? I don't at the moment. My last one passed away in April, I think, if I got that right. We Lord Clyde. Pardon me. Oh dear, pardon me. Good night, everyone, says the wonderful Kareem. Good night, Kareem. Good night, Scottie and Suzanne and Martin and Emma and Kareem. Sleep well. Thank you, Susan. Yes, yes, good. He's a great actor. Played Jimmy Boyle in A Sense of Freedom. He did indeed, David. And superb actor, great. Land of Hope and Glory was another one I loved him in. Great movie that. Sorry to hear. No, Bramley, he was a great wee guy. You'll see him on the TikTok videos. And last Christmas, he celebrated his 100th birthday. So when he died, he was 14 and a half. And the last thing he heard was his daddy's heartbeat. I held his head close to my chest just as he was going off to sleep. On a serious note, Scottie, what you take on a big cat sightings in the UK hoax, or possibly they live in our countryside? I don't know. Scottie, did you know Tom Weir? No, Charlie, not personally. But I remember both Tom and his sister Molly Weir. She wrote a book about Glasgow, Shoes for Sunday. And Tom Weir, of course, I loved his stuff. I used to introduce it on Scottish television because Weir's Way was going out for the first time when I worked at Scottish television. Talking of which, an old colleague of mine from Scottish television presents a superb radio show on Johnston Sound. You'll get it on the internet, and I'm on it with them on Saturday morning, 10 o'clock till midday. Don't miss a second. Tom Weir's son on YouTube. Yes, love Tom Weir. Real communicator on television. Brilliant man. That's one of the reasons he was so popular. He was also a lovely guy. Have they not got a statue of him in Loch Lomond? I think they have. They were certainly campaigning for one. Guys, I'm going to have to say good night to our beautiful TikTokers. We love you. Good night, TikTokers, from Mary Hill. That's our beautiful TikTokers away. How amazing are they, I say. Now, if anybody wants a quick question, yes, Molly did the advert. She did. Scottie, do you think crop circles are man-made or are they something else? I would believe there could be something with the crop circles because the earth is very old, Numpty Heed, as you know. And the land is very old. And the way the land is set out in agrarian style is not necessarily the land in its original state. So the agrarian revolution prior to the industrial revolution, yes, agrarian revolution going on, say, from the 1500s to the early 1800s, that has changed our landscape. So there you are. Dinky-Doo, yes, I do, Blackie. I remember Dave very well. I'm still in touch with him. So there we are. Excellent questions. Guys, we're out of time. What a fantastic program tonight. If you missed any of it, then get a catch up. Subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on TikTok, and join me tomorrow night, Friday night, live on here on YouTube and TikTok at 9 o'clock sharp. This is Scottie McClue saying to every single one of you, Dinky-Doo.